All right, here we go. My name's Jeff K, and you're listening to episode 478 of the world-famous West Virginia Surf Report podcast.
Good boy, my ass.
We made it down to Myrtle Beach, through the Myrtle Beach trip, and back without any major incidences. I'm happy to say it's back. We're back into harsh reality. I'm getting ready to go back to work in an hour and a half. In an hour and a half from now, I'll be leaving for work. Back to the real world. But today I wanted to briefly tell you about the trip. I'm not going to go into every little detail. I have a whole bunch of notes, but I put stars beside the stuff I wanted to talk about. I'll leave out all the other stuff in between with no stars. Maybe I'll get to it later. But today, I don't want to inundate you with every tiny little detail. But the trip was good. It was a great, super successful trip. In fact, I'll give you the grade up front. I'd give it an A. I don't think there's any. I mean, it was almost, the weather was perfect. We had fun. We were able to decompress, or at least I was, and I think Tony was able to as well. And that for whatever reason, the only thing that really does it for me is going down there. I don't know why. I don't know why that is. It's we do other trips, and I come back frazzled, tired. I go down there, and I come back, refreshed like you're supposed to from a trip. So anyway, I give it an A, and it was a beautiful, wonderful, perfect, almost perfect. It wasn't 100% perfect. I'll go over some of the things that happened. But it was close to perfect. Fantastic. Recommend it. It's a quickie. I mean, it was 3 nights. It was actually 4 days. Well, Friday we were there. We got in early. So we basically had all day Friday. And we had all day Monday, even though we flew both those days. We flew early on Friday, and we flew late on Monday. And then we had Saturday, Sunday in between. So basically we had 4 days, and 3 nights. 4 days, 3 nights. I felt like we could have gone one more day, but it didn't feel like we were getting totally ripped off, But it was good. I recommend it if you need to get centered. Every once in a while I need to get centered. Every October. I probably need it more than once a year, but at least every October. We try to go down there every October. So I'll start going through the starred items here from my notes, my detailed notes. It started out, Tony would not, she'd probably knock us, just because of this first, literally at the very beginning, she'd probably knock a letter grade off because it upset her so much. But we went through TSA, in Allentown. We're flying out of Allentown, and we went through there. I went through first for whatever reason. She usually I don't know. But anyway, I breezed right through there. I had to get in that booth. You put your hands above your head, then they take pictures of your genitalia, and then they pass it around amongst themselves and laugh. I mean, I don't know what that is, but you have to get in that booth, put your feet on, and they're barking at you. Why do they have to be so shitty? I'm not causing anybody any problems. All right? Why does the default setting have to be aggravated? Just perpetually aggravated. Why? I'm going on vacation. God, just tell me what you want me to do, and I'll do it. God. You don't have to bark at me. So anyway, I went through, no problems. And but then Tony got pulled aside. I mean, she got pulled aside big time. She's always, for years, 5 years, I think, she was clearly on some kind of list. We were down in Myrtle Beach. This is when the kids were younger. When the kids were, I don't know, middle school aged, something like that. And, they sell fireworks down there. I don't think they sell, I don't know. Back in those days, I don't know what the fireworks situation is now, but back in those days, there were only a few states that actually sold real fireworks. Some of them sell like those half-ass things, like, shoot out a shower of sparks, that kind of stuff. But stuff that explode, like firecrackers and stuff like that, and bottle rockets. There's only a handful of states that you can get them, and that South Carolina was one of them. So every time we went down to Myrtle Beach, they wanted to buy bottle rockets and shit. So we had these. We were getting ready to leave. We were getting ready to go home. We were flying, and we had this big, package of firecrackers that were left over. And Tony was like, "What should I do with these? We can't take them on the plane." I said, "I don't know. I don't know what to do with them." I said, "Go down there and see if somebody wants them, I guess. I mean, you could take them downstairs by the pool and down there and see if somebody wants them." She goes, "What if I just leave them down there?" I said, "No. What if some 10-year-old or 11-year-old boy gets hold of them? Could be an incident." So she went down there. She took the big bundle of firecrackers down there and found somebody, some dad or something, or some mom, I don't know, and said, "You want these? We're getting ready to leave." And they go, "Yeah, we'll take them." So then, we went to the airport, and she got pulled aside because she had explosives. Somehow they detected explosives on her hands. And that was a big deal. And they swiped her hands with all kinds of stuff and doing all this stuff. So and then every time for 5 years that she went through a TSA checkpoint, she got pulled aside. And then just recently, not too long ago, that stopped happening. So she got off the list, I guess. All right, now she's back on. She got pulled aside because she had two bags of coffee, right, in her suitcase or in her backpack, I don't know. And because they have the coffee maker in the room, so she bought 2 bags. She bought a bag of Tim Hortons decaffeinated for herself, and she bought 8 o'clock just regular coffee for me. She was thinking ahead, bought that stuff, for the trip. For some reason, they had a big issue with that Tim Hortons. That thing set off some alert, So they pulled her aside, and they gave her a thorough pat down. They searched through all of her bags and stuff. They were rifling through all her clothes and stuff, through her backpack. They had it all spread out. They had people coming over there. Others were coming over there. They were calling in people. And she was like, and they had some woman doing her like a full-blown pat down. And right out in the middle, everybody's like looking at her. Like she's like the face of the Taliban. She's the modern face of the Taliban, And then they brought in, I was standing there watching this spectacle. I was like, what the hell? What is going on? And then they brought this guy showed up, and he had all kinds of apparatus with him. And he's got, he like opens up that, like he only cared about the Tim Hortons. He didn't care about the 8 o'clock. That was discarded, or that was pushed aside. It wasn't on their radar. They didn't care about that. They were very interested in that Tim Hortons. And they brought this guy comes over. He opens the package of coffee, and he's taking a little bit out. He's putting it in he's putting it on test strips, He's got like a chemistry kit. The guy's a chemist, running all kinds of tests and stuff. I mean, it was unbelievable. And she was like, that freaked her out. She was like, she showed me on her watch, you know, she has one of those, you know, where it monitors your heart rate and everything. Thing like spiked. I mean, she was like so stressed out about that. I said, yeah, but you don't have anything. I said, you don't have anything. I said, what are you so stressed out about it? It's irritating and it's embarrassing. I get that part. She goes, no, I thought they were going to take me to prison or something. I said, why? For what? Because you have a decaffeinated coffee in your bag? Well, I don't know what was setting it off. I said, you didn't have any explosives or drugs or anything? She goes, I don't know what. So they were wiping down the outside of that package and everything. I mean, she was freaked out about that. I mean, she was like, talked about that. She's still talking about it. I mean, I understand. I mean, I've been pulled aside. Not to that level. I mean, they were basically, you know, I mean, I don't think they've ever rifled through my stuff. I don't think they were like holding up my underwear and like shining a light through it or anything. I don't know what they were doing. I mean, it was unbelievable. But anyway, so that happened. That was how it started. That was, that shook her up big time, right? That was no good. But, you know, she just got off the bomb maker list. And now she's on, I don't know if she's like a drug mule. I don't know. Or did they think that stuff was explosive too? I don't know. She might be back on that bomb list. I don't know. She's an international bomb maker. Apparently. At least that's what they think. She had some coffee. It was coffee directly from the grocery store. It wasn't even opened. Unopened bags of coffee. Set off some sort of an alert. Anyway. So that happened. That was crazy. That was wild. Then we got on the airplane. 1 hour, 10 minutes. It's a flight out of direct from Allentown, and it's 1 hour and 10 minutes to get down there. That is insane. It takes literally 12, 13 hours to drive down there. It is crazy. You get on that plane, it's an hour and 10 minutes. It's like so fast. It feels. I was reading a Mike Campbell autobiography, Mike Campbell from Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. I read that, read several chapters of that, and next thing you know, we're preparing for a landing. I'm like, what the? We just got up in the air. It feels like it's just, they go down that thing. You have to buy, they have like beverage service, but it's not free. You know what I mean? So we got up in the air, and they turned off the fasten seatbelt sign, and they brought the beverage service through, and then they secured that back wherever it goes, and then we're landing. So fast. So that was easy. Then we went and got our car and all that stuff. Everything's fine. Went and got our rental car. And let's see what else. I'll tell you. I mean, that day we went straight to River City Cafe, had lunch, hamburger joint on the ocean, one of our favorite places. We went straight there. We weren't able to sit outside because it was so crowded, but you know, it was still fun. And had really good food. And Tony had a beer. I said, she goes, I'm getting a beer after that TSA thing. I'm still freaked out about that. And I said, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. She goes, I don't care. We're on vacation. I said, all right, I'll join you. Which I don't like drinking that early. I just feel weird. It feel weird for a while, you know. I don't like that. I don't mind. Obviously, I don't mind drinking in the evening, but I don't like drinking in the daytime at all. But I didn't want her to sit there and drink alone. She said, "We're on vacation. Just have one." So we had one beer each. Burgers, fantastic, really good food. We love going there. We've been there many times. I mean, it's one of those. It's one of our must go to places when we go down there. Then we went and checked in, hotel, 17th floor, awesome, beautiful, sunny, bright, blue skies. Couldn't have been more perfect. Went out on the balcony, fantastic. Then we went to get some supplies. Went to that Total Wine and Spirits, buy some local craft beers for the refrigerator, and then we went to this place called New South Brewing. I think did I miss anything? I think that's it. We went to this. Yeah, that's it. So we went to this place called New South Brewing. It's a brew. It's like a a brewery that's open to the public. But it's weird. We've always wanted to go there, but they're only open like a few days a week for 3 hours a day or something. It's like, it's a strange, like, why is it such a limited amount of time? So, but they were open, and we thought, we looked at it in advance. So the only way we're going to be able to go is Friday, the day we get there. So we had it penciled in. We're going to go there. So we went there. It was in this industrial area. Looked like back there's a bunch of warehouses and stuff, and there's like buildings where they're doing like working on old cars and stuff. I was like, what the hell is this? Where is this the right place? So then there's cars parked all up and down the street, both sides of the street. I said, there's no way. All these people can't be in there, can they? This isn't we were like really confused. We had to park all the way down around the corner and hoof it over there. And the place was packed. I mean, it was crowded. It was big, but there was a lot of people in there, and most of them were like our age, like older. And it was a cool ass place. I mean, it was really, really fun. I mean, that was one of the highlights of the whole trip. And they had all kinds of really good beer, and it was they had 12-ounce pours, 6-ounce pours. They give you a bracelet, like a paper bracelet, and then they write down every time you order another beer, they just put it on the bracelet, and then at the end, it's like codes. It's like mine had plus signs on it, and Tony's had the number 3 on it. We had 2 each. She got the 6-ounce pours. What the hell's that? But anyway, so it was like really cool in there. The way it was decorated, it was like a garage, like a giant garage, basically. But they had it all decorated really cool and quirky, and everybody was really cool, and everybody was having fun. It was a Friday afternoon. You know, they had this outdoor part that was really fun, and I don't know, it's like the best. I was like, this place is awesome. And then when we went to pay up, $17. We had 4 beers. I mean, Tony's were half. So basically 3 beers, and it was $17. Like, that is cheap. That is so cheap. And it was a fun party atmosphere. Everybody in there, most of the people in there were older, but they were like, everybody's jucking it up, and it was crowded, and people were pouring in there, parking all up and down the street. It's only open 3 hours a day, not even every day. New South Brewing, man, that place is. If you're into that kind of stuff, and the beer was really good, beautiful, perfect. One of the highlights of the trip. We had a blast in there, and so that was the first day. Let's see, is there anything? No, that's pretty much it. So let's see. The next starred item here. Let me check. So I'll go over the places we ate, but let's see what we got here. Oh, the sea kitties. There's all these stray kitties, stray cats that live outside the hotel, and they're always out there bumming for food and stuff, and they live in the dunes, you know, and there's a whole bunch of them. I think last year Tony bought some snacks. We were at Walmart or somewhere, Publix or something. She bought a bag of treats for the cats. And it says, there's signs that says, don't feed the cats. You know, you're not supposed to feed the cats, but everybody does anyway. But I don't know. So Tony, there's like, you see like 3 or 4 of them. These cats, they appear and they come up on the pool deck and stuff, and they're running around. You can't get near them. If you take one step in their direction, they jet off. You know, they're stray. I mean, they're stray cats. They're wild. They live they're cute. They're incredibly cute. And there's a few of them out there. But last year, Tony bought these snacks or treats or whatever, and she threw a bunch of them out on the pool deck, and like 15 cats came out of the bushes. They emerged all around us. It was like menacing. It was like kind of scary. Like, oh my God, there are like tons of cats out there. And some guy goes, hey, you're not supposed to feed those cats. I was like, I didn't feed them. He was like, I didn't feed them. I mean, my wife did, but I didn't. I didn't say that part. I just said I didn't feed them. So anyway, I thought we were going to get kicked out of the hotel because you're not supposed to feed them, and I don't know. Anyway, but this year we're down there. We saw 3 or 4 of them like jumping around, and like the little kittens are like wrestling and stuff. They're just incredibly cute. You know, you can't touch them. They won't let you touch them, but they're around. You know, and then so we're leaving. We're going back up to our room that night. And we see these 2, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to be judgmental. Couple of, I don't know, I'd say, if I were to describe them, I'd say they're a couple of young, up-and-coming lesbians. You know what I mean? Up-and-coming, you know. There's a lot of potential there. They're over there, and they're petting this one. There's this one that was there last year because it had a big circle on its side. You know, I remembered it because it had a circle on its side. I said, "There's that same cat from last year. Oh my God, how do they make it through the winter? It's cold down there. Where do they go? What do they do?" He's still around. He's still walking around, strutting around. You know, and I saw those 2 young up-and-coming lesbians, like, petting the thing. Like, how in the... So we were walking. I said, how did you get that cat to allow you to pet it? I said, we can't even get... That thing won't let us near it. Well, you know, you just have to study their body language. Starts in with this bullshit. You have to study their body language. I'm just really good with studying their body language. I said, all right, whatever. Just kept on walking. Like, whatever. I study their body language like she's a cat whisperer, you know. I didn't want an actual explanation. I just wanted to say, I know, it's great, isn't it? Moving on. She's like, well, I mean, I'm a superior being, you know. I mean, obviously, that's the reason. I mean, the reason I can pet this cat and you can't is because I'm just smarter, and I study body language of cats. I'm a cat whisperer. Anyway, I was like, all right, whatever. One day, we were down there having a couple beers, sitting by the pool, having a couple of those local craft beers, and there's cats all around, frolicking. Those cats are just like tumbling and, you know, wrestling and stuff. And these 2, this husband-wife team come off the beach. Both, you know, I mean, I don't say 400 pounds each. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to be mean. I think they're like pushing 400 pounds each, not combined, each. They come over there and they're like, he had a thick Southern accent. I mean, I lived in the South most of my life, and I don't have any problem with it. I certainly know my way around a Southern accent. He was saying stuff. He was pronouncing stuff in bizarre ways. It almost seemed like it had like a little New Orleans in it. You know, yeah, they had that Cajun weirdness. I said, "Where you guys live?" And he goes, Virginia, North Carolina border. I said, "Oh, I don't know." I was thinking, why you talk like that? It's not just a Southern accent. It's some kind of weirdness. But anyway, they were over there. They're like, oh my God, look at these cats. You know, they were talking to us and everything. And they were cool. They hung around a little bit too long. Some people don't know how to detach. But they were nice. They were super nice, super friendly. And that guy never stopped talking. He's one of these guys that just talks and talks and talks. He goes, I just love animals. You know, I used to drive a garbage truck. And I had these on my route. I took dog biscuits with me every day, you know, and when they'd hear my truck coming, they'd come running. The dogs would come running. They started calling me the doggest. I said, that's good, the doggest. He goes, one time I forgot and I didn't have any, I didn't have dog biscuits, so I had this big honey bun that I was going to eat, on my break. So I was going to let them have a little bit of that, and then one of them, like, I was tearing it apart, like tearing off some of it. One of them ran up and grabbed it and took off with it, the whole honey bun. I said, okay. But anyway, he was talking. He went out there and got some kind of a big long piece of dead grass off the beach, and was like playing with the kittens, and they were like swatting at it, and they won't let you touch them, but he was playing with them, and they seemed like they were having a ball, and they were talking. They were nice, super nice. And then he told me that he said they were getting ready. They were going to go out to dinner or something, and this is like 7 o'clock at night, and he goes, we're going to go out to dinner, but we have to. Or they were talking about the places they've eaten, since they've been there. And he goes, I have to be careful what I eat, because I got bit by a tick a while back. Now I can't eat anything from a hooved animal. I'm like, what the? He goes, I can't eat a hooved animal. I said, hooved? He goes, yeah, like a cow, a pig, or a sheep or lamb, or I don't know what they said, whatever he said. I said, what the? I said, this is from a tick? He goes, yeah, you get like an allergy, almost like people are allergic to peanuts and stuff. I have to carry an EpiPen with me everywhere I go. He goes, some people that have this syndrome, if they just smell meat being grilled, just grilled meat, like somebody's grilling burgers or something, it'll send them into shock. Could kill them. I said, so if you're just driving by a Burger King and you smell it, yeah. He goes, I don't have it that bad, thankfully, but I certainly can't eat a burger. I can't eat any kind of I can't eat a steak or anything because of a tick bite. Can't eat hooved animals. Hooved. It's like, I don't know. But they were fun. I mean, I don't know. They were, I was thinking, he goes, I have to eat a specialized diet. I'm thinking, well, seems like, I don't know. I don't know. Still 400 pounds. I don't know. It seems like, I don't know. None of my business. But anyway, we're out there, and they hung out with us for upwards of an hour. They were cool. That's fine. And then I saw them over there getting in the hot tub. That was quite a sight. But anyway, they were nice. I don't know what the hell kind of language they were. He's a weird, the way he pronounced certain words, I couldn't even understand what he's saying. And like I say, I've been around plenty southern accents. But anyway, so that was fun. The cats were a sense of fun the whole time we were there. The sea kitties, as I call them. They also playing karaoke down there, down by the pool, a couple nights. And these drunk old people, like our age, smashed out there just belting out some, I don't know what the hell. It's like some, I don't know, Isley Brothers songs and stuff. I was like, oh my God, this is terrible. I don't know. I can't imagine doing that. I told Tony, I said, I'm doing this tomorrow. I'm going to get all liquored up, and I'm going to get up there and do some Molly Hatchet. She goes, all right, do whatever you want. Oh, whatever. But next night they didn't have it. Damn it. Let's see what else I got listed here. The breakfast situation. Every time we've been down there, and we've been down there many, many times, this same hotel, we always stay at the same hotel, breakfast was included. I mean, there's a restaurant down there. It's not that stupid lobby bullshit where it's some half-ass thing, They have an actual restaurant down there, and they have a breakfast buffet, or you can order stuff from the kitchen, whatever. It's an actual restaurant, and it was always included, right? And this year it wasn't. And we tried to we talked to them on the phone. They're like, no, we don't do that anymore. They wouldn't budge on it. I said, how much? Tony said, how much is it? She said, $14.99 a person. I'm like, what the? I'm not paying that. I mean, it's fine if it's included, but it's not worth $15 a person. It's not that good. It's fine. I go down there and drink coffee. I would get up and go downstairs, drink some coffee, drink a bunch of coffee, look at my phone. I'd have some eggs and maybe some sausage or something, some hash browns, whatever. But it was mostly just to go down there to get caffeinated, Look at my phone, wake up, I liked it, but I'm not paying $15 for coffee, So we were irritated about that. It turned out to be a good thing, but the first day we were there, like if you paid $15 a head for each day, and then the first day we were down there, Tony got a text that said, due to unforeseen circumstances, the restaurant is closed today. What the hell is this? I said, what unforeseen circumstances? What does that mean? Maxine called off? What is that? And so anyway, we didn't go. We never set foot in that restaurant, and that was a place we went every day on all our previous trips. I don't know what they're doing. We're a little concerned about that hotel. It's still nice, it's good and everything, but it's kind of starting to get a little banged up. I feel like it's slipping a little bit. It's very concerning. It's not exactly. It's like they're not keeping it up as well as they used to. Moving in the wrong direction. Still nice. I mean, I'm not saying it's a dump or anything. It's not anywhere close to being a dump. It's a nice place, but it feels like they were more on top of things in the old days. But anyway, so the breakfast situation. So we were forced to go to breakfast, which we've never done. We've hardly ever done that since we go down there. There was this place called Blueberry's Grill that we went to. But that was just like when we get in, like if we'd have a really early flight, we couldn't check into the hotel. We went there a couple times under those circumstances, but generally we didn't go to breakfast. But this, because it wasn't included in the price, forced us to get up, get out of bed, and get moving. Forced me, I should say, because Tony gets up early. It forced me to get moving. And then we went to these restaurants we'd never been to before. It turned out to be a positive. It was good stuff. So, I don't know, I was irritated at the beginning. But it was turned out to be a good thing. Due to unforeseen circumstances, the restaurant will be closed all day today. Maxine called off. That's what I think was the unforeseen. She's the linchpin. I don't know who this Maxine. I don't even know. I'm just making up something. I don't know if there's a person named Maxine. But anyway, let's see what else. In the elevator, it's really weird sounding. It's like it announces the floor you're on. We're on the 17th floor. Thing I was going 17th floor. 17th floor. Like what the? Who the hell's that? Is that guy from down there that can't eat the hooved? So everybody pronouncing shit wrong. Is that hooved animal guy? The cat, he's another cat whisperer. He wasn't petting them though. But anyway, 17th floor. So one time I was like, I had to go. I went upstairs by myself, I think to grab a couple beers out of the refrigerator. And it said that, and I go, and I was imitating it, and I was going flower as the doors opened, and there were four large women standing there, 4 large ladies standing there, and it smelled like pure marijuana, and they all started laughing. But anyway, one of my favorite parts of that whole thing is when you go to the lobby, the thing goes labby, Labby, that's what it sounds like, labby. And then I noticed, I said, what the hell? I said, this place is getting all beat up. Everything needs a coat of paint. It's just the standards are slipping a little bit. And I haven't heard Labby one time, Tony's like, you're right. How come it doesn't say that anymore? I said, oh, no. There's four elevators. We finally got in one, right? And it said it. I was super excited. I said, this is one of the greatest moments of my life. So that makes everything. We got, we get on these elevators and the thing just gets to the lobby and the doors open. It doesn't even announce it. But then, like on the second day or something, or maybe it was the third day, we got in one of the elevators and the thing goes, Labby. I was like, yes! Hell yeah! It's like super excited. I mean, it felt like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders. Thank God. We went to this restaurant called Two Taco, which had... every time we go down there, we try to go to new places mixed in with our old favorites, And this place had all kinds of people. People were saying, this place is great. This is authentic Mexican. It's really good. It's inexpensive, really good food. Street tacos are kick-ass. I was like, that sounds right up my alley. We went in there, and I said, you have to order at the counter. I thought it was a sit-down place, but it's like you have to order at the counter. And I asked the girl, I said, how big are your tacos? Because they're $2.75 a piece. She goes, they're not very big. I said, how many would you suggest for a man of my size? How many would you suggest? Tony's like rolling her eyes. I said, for a man of my size, how many would you suggest I order? She looked at me and she goes, I'd say 10. I'm like, what the? And she started laughing. She goes, I don't know, you put me in a bad... I said, what the? 10? I said, get out of town. So, what the hell's that? She looked at me and, I don't know, 10? I don't know. She was trying to be funny. She was nice, And, but anyway, I ordered 4. Thank you very much. Tony ordered 2. And then we got some nachos. And I don't think it was that great. It wasn't nearly as good as I was hoping. It was fine. It was generic. It was like Americanized. It wasn't... They all say authentic. There's this place in Scranton called Chicano's. Fantastic. It's exactly the same stuff, but it's more flavorful, I don't know what the difference is. I don't know. It's just... that place is great. Chicano's in Scranton. That place is like legit, as the kids say. But this place, seemed like it was kind of like Americanized and not as tasty, not nearly as tasty. It was fine. It wasn't the worst thing, but it wasn't great either. It probably won't go back. But whatever. She looks me up and down. 10. I'd say 10 tacos for a man of your size. Tony's like, you set her up. I mean, you walked right into that. You were inviting that. And I said, whatever. So let's see, what else we do? Some other stuff. The hooved animals already there. We're driving around. Wherever you go, and there's like any kind of like touristy area, they have wax museums. And I was talking to Tony. I said, what the hell? Why would you want to go to that? I said, who in the hell would go to a wax museum? I mean, how is that fun? I mean, seriously. And you see them all the time. Even in Cooperstown, New York, they have a wax museum of like old baseball players and stuff. Who wants to go look at, Christy Mathewson, conjured up in wax? Like, what the hell's that? Lou Gehrig or something. I don't. But they have everywhere you go, everywhere there's a big tourist area, there's wax museums. There's multiple wax museums in Myrtle Beach. We walked or drove past several of them. Like, do people actually go to these? Why? It seems like something from the 1920s or something. Who wants to go look at Ronald Reagan or whatever? What is it? I don't even know what they have in there. Charlie Chaplin or something? Like, how does that brighten your day? How does wax music? Just think about that shit. I mean, you see it all the time, but I never think anything about it. Just like, whatever. But when you stop and think about it, why would you ever want to go to something like that? Like the artistic, that looks just like him. How's that help you anything? It's not him or her. It's not Madonna. It's not 1980s Madonna. It's wax, I guess. Is that what it is? Wax? I mean, that's what they say. I don't know. I don't know why anybody would ever want to. It's like, it blows my mind, really. Have you ever went to a wax museum and came out of there electrified? Like, oh my God, that was a great. That really made my day. I just love seeing Walter Cronkite conjured in wax. Whew, I'm still buzzing. My hands are shaking. I'm so excited. Like, what the? And also, when we were on the elevator one day, some guy got on there, and he goes, going up. I said, yeah. And Tony's like, yeah, we're going to the 17th. He goes, what floor do you want? And he goes, I don't know, 12th or something. He goes, you guys sound like Northerners. I was like, hang on just a damn minute. I said, what? I said, you know how that pains me in my heart? He started laughing. I said, hey, why would you say something like that? I don't know, it just sound like you're from the North. I said, well, I've never been so offended in all my life. And he goes, sorry. I said, nah, it's all right. I said, we live in the North now, but I'm not from the North. He goes, all right, Jesus. Sorry. No, he was cool, but I don't know, that was another one. I had the 10 taco thing, but I mean, I asked for that, but I didn't think she'd actually go for it. I didn't think she'd actually take the bait and say, a man of your size requires 10 tacos. But this guy's like, he's like, you guys from the North? I'm like, I don't know how to answer that. We live in the North. I'm not from. Neither one of us is from the. Well, you sound like you're Northerners. Like, what the? I don't know. I don't want to have that. I don't want to have the doggest kind of Southern accent. I don't want to sound like I'm from the North either. I don't know. I can't please me. He was like, I don't know. He started laughing. He was like, I don't know. Sorry about that. Let's see. What else I have? There's a couple. One day we were leaving the parking garage, and somebody was parked, blocking the exit almost, right? And there was some woman standing there talking to him, like leaning up against the driver's door, talking to the people inside the truck. And I'm like, what? How many? Get the hell out of the way, And the woman's like, she looked at us, the woman standing outside the truck, she looked at us and just went back to talking. So I started driving around, like trying to squeeze through to get around this truck, which is annoying, And the woman said something to us. She goes, just go, God. And Tony was like, get out of the way, Then I was like, it's not your own private garage. And I was like yelling. And it was like yelling. She was yelling stuff back at us. The windows were up. You could hear. And then we were like driving. She was like yelling back at us, and we were yelling at her. And then right as we were getting ready to hit the open road, Tony goes, bitch. She just yells, bitch, real loud. I don't know, for some reason it was hilarious. I don't know, the timing was perfect. She's like, bitch. Good stuff. Let's see. What else? Oh, the last day we were supposed to go out on a boat trip. They canceled it, said that they didn't have enough people sign up for it. So that was one of the things. The last day, that lame duck day where you have to go, or you have a late flight, but you have to leave the hotel at 11. That sucks. Because the last time we did that, it felt like we were just wandering around aimlessly, It was like it felt like a wasted day. Like we had no real plans. We went to lunch and stuff, and then we were walking around Costco or like, I don't know, Barefoot Landing and all this stuff. It's like, I don't know, sad. It's ending. We're just like wandering around. We have a man without a country. We don't have no home base, right? So we decided we're going to try to do something and really try to, have something to do on that day. So we're going to go out on some kind of like whale watching boat or something like that, or a porpoise watching, I don't know. So we signed up, paid for it in advance. They canceled it, said there wasn't enough people, said they need 14 people to sign up or they won't go out. So that didn't happen. I was like, here we go. We're going to have another one of these days. So we went out and had breakfast, and then we went, I don't remember what we did. We went out, we did some stuff, and then we snuck back in the hotel. Oh, we went out on one of those piers. They're really cool, stick way out in the ocean. Walked out there and sat out there on a bench and, in the sun. It was pretty. It was like it was kind of cool that day, but in the sun it was perfect. Just sat out there and watched the waves, and there were people fishing off there, and then we snuck back in the hotel. We'd already checked out, but we snuck back in there, and we sat down by the pool for hours. Just people watching, the ocean's right there. It was nice. It was a good day. Then we went to P.F. Chang's for lunch. That was the only chain restaurant we went to. We don't have access to those. We don't have any of those around us. They're pretty good. I mean, I wouldn't say they're the greatest in the world, but we kind of like it. So we ended up going there for lunch, and then it was time to go back to the airport. Felt like we didn't waste it. Felt like there was more downtime this time than in previous trips by design. We spent more time on the beach. We spent more time down by the pool. And it was good. It felt, we liked it. It was better. I feel like we're still tweaking our trips to Myrtle Beach. It's getting better and better. So that's it. That's everything I have starred here. I will do a quick rundown of the restaurants we went to, and give you a little update on a little review of each. River City Cafe, our favorite. Burgers. It's burgers and fries and onion rings and stuff. It's good stuff. It's right on the ocean. You can sit outside and the ocean's right there. Fantastic. Always a good choice. The burgers are really good. And the people were nice, and it's a cool place. It's really fun. And we go to the Surfside Beach location. There's like 2 or 3 of them around town. We go to Surfside. Good stuff. We went to this place called Tofino's, which was an Italian bakery type place. We got these giant sandwiches, like Italian subs or hoagies or whatever you want to call them. Really, really good. We got those and took them back to the room. And Tony she got some kind of dessert, some kind of Italian something or other. And that was good. And the Golden Egg was a breakfast place we went to. It's famous, been there. We never went there because we never went on we never left for breakfast. So we went there, I think the second, the next day, like Saturday. It was crowded. We had to wait for like a half hour to get in there. It's a huge place too. It was excellent. I mean, it was really, really good. I mean, top notch. I understand why it's so popular. That was probably the best. That was probably the best breakfast we had. The Golden Egg. Then we went to Big Mike's Soul Food place. This is a place that we go to. We don't go to every time we get down there, but it's on our list of basically every other time we go. And I just wanted. I was kind of, I don't know. I wasn't super hungry, so I just got like the vegetable plate, and I didn't get any meat, which is fine. I like vegetables. Sometimes I get the vegetable plate. That's not something unusual for me. And I got, let's say I got macaroni and cheese, collard greens, what else? Can't remember. I don't remember. I got 4 different vegetables, and it was good. Well, macaroni and cheese isn't really a vegetable. It's a vegetable in the South. I can't remember what they were, but anyway, that's a good place. It looks like a shack. It's the kind of place I would not go into if I didn't know its reputation. It's like, it's a famous place, and we've been there probably like, I don't know, 5 times maybe in our history going down there. It's a good place. I recommend it if you like home cooking, soul food as they call it. Then we went to Blueberry's Grill for breakfast one day. Kind of upscale, a little fancy, with the prices to go along with it. It's good. The food's good, but I don't know. Tell you what, the Golden Egg, way more food and way less price. It's good though. It's a good stuff. Then that 2 taco place, I already talked about that. It's all right. Not the greatest. Mammy's Kitchen. That place has been there since the 50s. Never went there. As far as I can remember. I don't remember going there as a kid, but it was good for breakfast too. That was a good place. And they had a buffet in there. They had a breakfast buffet. I was like, should I get that? And I was like, Tony's like, I'm not getting it. I can't eat that much food. Doesn't make sense for me. I said, I can eat. I thought, nah, I'll just get regular breakfast. Tactical error. I looked at that buffet. I saw people bringing back all kinds of interesting stuff, And I walked down that thing after we were done eating. It's like, I should have. What the hell am I? What is wrong with me? I mean, why do you? It looked like a kick-ass buffet. Tactical error. Something I will never repeat. I learned my lesson. I kicked myself on that one. But Mammy's Kitchen is what it was. They used to have, like, on their sign, they used to have this, like a, what do you call that, Aunt Jemima type. It's like a head of a black woman with a handkerchief on her head or something. You know what I mean? It's like one of those old classic, well, I don't know if it's classic. Probably not. It's offensive now, but back in the 70s and stuff, that's what it used to be up there on the sign. It's gone. Poor old Mammy's been beheaded. It just says Mammy's Kitchen now. There's no illustrations. But back in the 70s and 80s, I don't know when they took the head down. It used to be up there, but anyway, that place was good. Really crowded. Very popular place. Been open since the early 50s. And then P.F. Chang's. I went to P.F. Chang's on the day we left. That was good. It was good Chinese food. And then the beer, New South, like I was saying, great. Highly recommended. Top notch. That was by far the best. Grand Strand Brewing, we always go there. It's a good place. Fun. Good beer. Good atmosphere. Good times. And then the last place is the Tidal Creek Brewing. We've been there multiple times. Every time I go there, I feel like, I had some kind of beer. It tastes like a whisk broom. And I don't know. I just didn't. There's something about that place. I don't know if we're going to go there. I don't know if that's going to be an automatic. That might be an every other timer. I don't know. Tidal Creek. It's not. It wasn't really doing it for me. So that's it. We're at the end of this thing. Thank you guys for listening to me go on and on. I thought it was going to be a quickie, but it turned out to be long. Too many stars in my notebook. So that's that. I might talk about some other stuff later, but those are the highlights. On the way back, Tony did not get pulled out of the TSA line, but there was some other woman, also in her 50s, getting the full pat down. I said, well, at least you've been replaced as the modern face of the Taliban. That lady right there is now the current face. She goes, I feel sorry for that woman, what she's going through. I said, Anyway, so and the whole trip was great. I give it an A. It was perfect. I mean, it was like no negatives. Beautiful, perfect. We're tweaking it still after all these years. I think this was one of the more successful ones. All right. So anyway, thank you guys for everything. If you want 2 of these a week instead of a measly one, you can do that by heading over to Patreon. That's Patreon, patreon.com/Jeff K. Sign up for a $4 or more monthly donation, and you'll get an extra episode every week, or every episode every time I publish one to the main network, like this one. A few days later, there'll be one on the Patreon side for patrons only. They're full-length episodes, and it's for patrons only. If you want to tap into that and double down on the Surf Report, you can do it today at patreon.com/Jeff K. Also, if you want to call in and comment on anything I've talked about, the number 570-290-8151. Just leave a comment, ask a question, make a suggestion, whatever's on your mind. 570-290-8151. And surfreportpod.com is the web home of the podcast. Check that out as well. And we're at the end of this thing. Thank you guys for everything. Until next time, which will be over on the Patreon side, hope you guys have yourselves a fine, fine day. I'll see you. Bye. Young, up-and-coming lesbians.